Welcome in to For the A. I am Emily Grace McWhorter. Here is my guest, left-handed pitcher in the Braves organization, Hayden Harris. It is the most wonderful time of the year. I am so excited to kick For the A off, talking all things Atlanta baseball. I'm a diehard fan, and like I said, October Braves baseball, you cannot beat it. So Hayden, thank you for being here.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
It is so fun to be a Braves fan right now. And I can't imagine how you're feeling, but we have to talk last night's 5-4 electric win over the Phillies to tie the NLDS up.
hmm Yeah, I was there last night. Absolutely insane. The first 6 innings, they crowd honestly wasn't into it, but after Darno hit the home run and everything, that place went nuts. The tomahawk chop and all that, and then Mike making the play in center field to end it. It was insane. It was electric.
So, from my perspective, the crowd seemed a little dead there in the beginning. And now, game one, we saw a lot of empty seats behind home plate. Braves country was responding in a certain way, the media was responding in a certain way. But tell me how it was last night, the moment that ball came off Darno's bat and that place went crazy.
I mean, honestly, like all night, first inning and everything, the crowd was electric when something good happened. There wasn't much good, for them to cheer
Right.
about, but once the offense got going and Darno, I was sitting up in like the second row or something, and it was, high fives all around, people throwing, their drinks and beer and all that, and it was a great atmosphere. And I can tell you, there probably wasn't many open seats.
Good, good.
I was,
I like to hear that.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's kick things off. Last night, I want to go over the play that Austin Riley made. So he's a third baseman, and I read that he wasn't supposed to be as far over as he was behind Ozzy. Run me through that, seeing it live happen, because I'm sitting in my apartment and I think I got a noise complaint how loud I screamed when Mike overthrows it, but then Austin Riley.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's probably not supposed to be there. He's supposed to be on third base, because, Bryce was rounding the bag and everything. And you already had, let's see, Arcia was out to cut it short, and then Ozzy was covering second. So nobody's going to be there. The pitcher's going to be behind home plate. So Ozzy's just, in his spot, or not Ozzy, Riley's in his spot. And, that was kind of just like a reaction. Like that's like sports instincts, honestly. That's a sports instincts play. That's not something you plan or you prepare for, really. Like,
Right.
I know older baseball fans, they know the Derek Jeter like flip play. That's kind of what it was, honestly. Like, he's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, I saw that compared on Twitter. And Braves Twitter, we already know this, Hayden, is so fun in general. But you get to postseason and you go on Twitter, if you're a Braves fan, do yourself a favor and just start scrolling.
Literally, you can stay on there. I've probably been on there a little bit too much. I don't say anything, but I'll scroll and I might like a thing here too. You know, the Braves fan base, they definitely do it right.
Yeah. So going into today, it's a travel day for the Braves. They're going to head up to Philadelphia. How important was last night's win in the fashion that it happened to now set us up to have to go play two in Philly, hopefully clinch in Philly, would love that, but or return home and clinch in Truist Park.
You have to get a win.
Yeah.
It's kind of plain and simple. And I know going into Philly with your third starter or whatever, we have all the confidence in the world of whoever they put out there. And I would say last night that jump starts, all year long, the Braves have been, historically, probably the best offense of all time in multiple spots. So, they needed to wake up, and yeah, they waited till seventh inning, sixth inning, whatever. But you'd rather it happen then than never. So I would say that probably woke them up. Gives everybody some energy, and the confidence and all that in play. I would definitely say that's yeah.
I want to go off that a little bit, and I don't know if you agree with me, Hayden, but I would have rather have seen last night's wake up call in game 2 than see that in game 1 and have last night be a shutout. Because I feel like having this energy going into Philadelphia and the way that the team rallied, Darno said it was one of his favorite postseason games, one of the most special moments. To now have that mentality that we can come back. It may have taken us 14 innings after a 5-day break in between regular season and postseason, but now we're back. We're ready to go back to work.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably agree with that. Like, you'd rather, but then again, you could say, if you win a big game like that, game 1, then you're riding the confidence in the game 2. So you never know. But I would agree that how it happened, and I mean, playing in the postseason, I have no experience of it in pro ball yet, yeah. But it's any kind of like postseason play in any sports, you're always like, there's a little bit of pressure. I mean, there's pressure, and you don't get the first one over. That pressure kind of settles in a little bit. So I think that they got rid of that from my perspective.
Yeah. So Max Fried on the mound last night. This is where we have your pitching perspective come in. I think it was 18 days since he had been on the mound. He was a little shaky. His command was off. Do you think it was more rust, or was it just an off night for him? Has nothing to do with not being out there for more than a week.
I think Fried is definitely a guy that prepares really well. And, he was dealing with the blisters and stuff like that. But we saw him throw in the live scrimmages last week, and he looked fine. He pitched without Band-Aids, and he pitched with Band-Aids because they made him. He didn't even want to. And he looked good. I mean, it's a postseason start. It's that pressure. It's, you get a little bit more perfectionist. You're a little bit more critical of, like, your mistakes and stuff. So, and at the end of the day, he settled in there, and, I mean, he gave us 5.
Yeah.
That gives us a chance. So.
I agree. So let's talk more about those live scrimmages. Hayden was a part of that. He was on the mound the last day of postseason, before the postseason workouts, if you will. What was the energy of the team like? I'm dying to know what that whole experience was like for you.
I mean, those 3 days felt, I wouldn't say surreal. Like, I wasn't overwhelmed like I thought I would be most of the time. But it was definitely like it was a fun experience for like a minor league guy. And then also them letting like the fans come in and, the guys play an actual game in front of fans and kind of enjoy themselves, but you're also getting your work in. I think it was a great idea how it ended up working out.
Yeah.
Instead of just, sorry about that.
No. Go ahead, Hayden. I don't want to interrupt you. You got all the important stuff.
Oh, instead of just like, like, you could just go to practice. You do live ABs with nobody there and stuff like that. Like, having some sort of atmosphere and, let those guys, relax and just play instead of kind of just like a one-on-one for a whole week off. I think that was probably the best way they could have handled it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, so you mentioned how just relax and play. There was a pretty significant lineup change. I know this is above your pay grade, so we're just going to chat about it. Yep. The lineup change, Ozzie and Austin. Now people are saying last night would not have happened if Snit did not bump it back to the normal Joe Blow regular lineup that we've had all season. So I want to know, I guess, looking at game 1, from my perspective, it seems that there could have been some added pressure on the lineup to perform in a certain way, and they couldn't play as well or play as free as they wanted to because it was this new thing. And again, we're not in Snit's mind. I'm not going to claim that either of us are there because he's a special guy. But overall, what are your thoughts on that?
I would think, kind of like you said, it's above like all of our pay grades and everything. And those guys, they're not just going to make a move with no I guess, idea of what they're doing. In game 1, it really did come down to, if you think about it, they were trying to get Ozzie to face the lefties out of the pen. And he got an AB late in the game, and, Trey Turner makes the diving play and saves RBI, probably an RBI double. Mm-hmm. Like, it worked out later in the game. That's not exactly, I would think, what they planned for. But they were playing the matchups and the numbers. Like, you can't doubt it. And then flipping back to the normal lineup, that's kind of just like hey, we're the best offense in baseball. Let's just go back to what we're doing.
Seriously, this team has been so fun to watch all season long.
Yeah.
And then we get to the postseason, and it was a slow start for sure. No doubt about it. And there's been a lot of discussion on that 5-day layoff in between, if it really does benefit the players. And so far, the only team that seems to figure it out is the Houston Astros, and everyone else is trying and clawing to figure out some stability in between regular season and postseason.
Yeah, and that just comes with, the postseason. It's not a different game, but it's definitely just different. Like it's just how it happens. Mm-hmm. And some teams come out, even if you do what the Braves did, you play scrimmages and stuff. Like it's just a different atmosphere, and it's pressure, and it's sometimes guys they press and all that instead of just having fun and trusting what they've done all year. But that's sports in general. It's just a lot bigger stage, with billions of people and everything.
Yeah. So. Game 3 starter has yet to be announced for tomorrow. I have to imagine if it's Bryce Elder, whoever, the mentality has to be so solid, especially facing the Phillies, who I don't know about you, Hayden, but it feels like they're just built for October. From JT to Bryce, Zach Wheeler last night, no-hitter. Oh, buffering a little bit there.
Yeah,
we're good. But like I said, Zach Wheeler, no-hitter through 5, I think going into the 6th inning. Yeah. Ozzie broke it up, but where do we land now going into tomorrow?
I would say, they're probably, I'm not sure who they're starting, but it's going to be kind of like this past game. They're going to play to win it. If they have to go to the bullpen early, they're going to go to the bullpen early. And they're going to go to their matchups and guys like that. So, and our pitching, it's kind of like blunt, but the pitching doesn't matter if the offense doesn't go. Yeah. But the offense is going to go. You just have to face it and just let the guys play,
Right.
And I think that's just what it's going to come down to. It's not going to really matter how much, the starter gives you, if it's Elder or whoever. Like, if the offense goes, they'll look good on the field. I promise. We've seen it all year.
I think we saw that with Strider. He did everything you could have asked him to do, but offensively, the bats could not get it going.
Yeah.
So then the blame shifts a little bit to Strider, but at the end of the day, you look at his stat line, he did what he needed to do.
Oh, 100. Strider gave you seven innings of 2-run run ball. Like, yeah, he made an error picking off. Like, that's going to happen. But, he gave you 7 innings. And you got shut out, and it happens. It was the first time all season they got shut out at home. Like, it's baseball. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, the stats, the numbers, it's a smart person's game, but there's still, there's always something that you don't really expect to happen.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, wrap things up. I want to talk about, did you notice last night the Braves organist, what songs he was playing that has Phillies fans up in arms? Did you notice any of them, Hayden?
I was there, and I actually told a story about the organist or whatever, but I stopped listening. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't paying attention.
So he played Smelly Cat when Brandon Marsh was anywhere.
That's hilarious.
He played Wicked Witch of the West when Bryce Harper was up to bat, and you had Phillies fans really calling out the Braves organist for playing those songs like it really has something to do with how well the Phillies are going to perform.
Yeah, Phillies fans are emotional. I'm not going to hate on them. They're probably great people, but they're emotional.
I would have to agree with you, and I don't want Phillies fans to come after us, but this is a strictly Braves area, space, if you will. We are for the A. We are not for Philly. That is a good name, though. I hope no one takes that one. Phillies fans are a different breed, and I think that I want to wrap it up with this. Citizens Bank Park is going to be rocking. There's no doubt about it. However, Braves fans seem to always show up no matter the venue, no matter the space, no matter the series. How important is that going to be in Philly these next couple of days?
I mean, I would say anyone loves playing in front of their fans, and then the Braves fan base is about as loyal as it gets. So I would hope to turn on the TV and see a bunch of Braves uniforms out there. And like I said, Phillies fans are emotional. They get very defensive, especially at their own place. I've heard horror stories. I'm not going to go into too many details, but Phillies fans are there's something different. So it should be a good one to watch.
All right, Hayden, it is good to see you not at J.I. Clements. Both me and Hayden went to Georgia Southern, and we are a product of that great university. So go Eagles, of course.
Yeah, they're doing great in football, by the way. They look so good this fall.
They do. They do. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to For the A. October baseball is just getting started, and I will be with you every step of the way.